Hey everyone, welcome to the load drops block preview, the initial block. So load drops is a method that we use a lot. It's probably our most commonly used method, and it's something that you see fairly commonly in a lot of RPE-based programs, so programs that incorporate some form of auto-regulation. So load drops is quite a simple concept to understand in the sense that you're building up to a top set, which we refer to as an indicator set. That set is prescribed using RPE, and then we're going to reduce the weight of the bar by a certain amount, and then repeat multiple sets or back off sets at the same rep range as the top set. In this case, we're using 73% on squats, 75% on bench, and 70% on deadlift. Like with all of our programs, it's very important that after the indicator set, you update the 1RM within the app so that the percentage for the back-offs is calculated from the estimated 1RM of the indicator set and not from any previous maxes that you've input to the app. And this is the only way that we get progression in the back-off sets as the block goes on. You can see a very modest ramp up in terms of intensity of the indicator set. So we go up half an RPE each week. And the load drop method is used throughout this block on all primary and secondary movements, and they all have that half RPE ramp up in terms of intensity. So after following this block, you should feel very comfortable and familiar with load drops as a protocol and how to use it. If you find this block effective for you, you could move straight into the ultimate load drops block, which is just going to be a rep reduction and an increase in the back off percentages. I think this is a great way to train. I think that a majority of people can make a ton of progress following training like this. And as long as you are managing the outside variables, such as sleep, nutrition, stress to an adequate level, make sure you use your readiness rating within the app to try to gauge if you are handling those things. But provided you are, I think most people will be able to progress using this sort of method. I think that basically sums it up. Some noticeable points where I guess I can explain the secondary movements. So in the bench, we've got a 3-count pause bench, so trying to build tension and strength in that bottom position of the bench, which if you've been lifting for a long time, you realize as a raw bench presser, 99% of people are going to struggle in this position. We've got lat pull downs as an assistance movement day 1, hack squat as an assistance movement day 2. It's highly possible that you train somewhere where you don't have access to this machine. Like for my case right now, all I have is a home gym set up with a power rack, bar, weights. So I would substitute this movement maybe to a split squat, maybe to a front squat or something like that. But you might need to make a substitution if you don't have this machine. If you train in a gym that doesn't have a hack squat, it's likely going to have a leg press, and the stimulus is going to be very similar in this context. The secondary squat we have is a high bar squat. So this is just going to get a little bit more emphasis on the quads, a bit more knee flexion, a bit less hip flexion. And it is a really good, effective movement to help strengthen the anterior chain or the quads and the front portion of the body, obviously, as well as just boosting the squat pattern in general. And it's slightly higher reps, just so we get a little bit of a hypertrophy adaptation at the same time as working on strength. You've got low incline bench for the same reason, kind of keep a little bit of extra range of motion, really can be good for helping with bar path improvements. And then we've got Penley row as the horizontal row, so another back movement. Day 4, we've got RDLs, again, gives us that hypertrophy type stimulus on the deadlift or the hip hinge pattern. We got Spoto press, which again is great for attacking that bottom position strength. And then finally, river elevated split squats on day 4 for, again, just some unilateral work to focus on hip health and also just a little bit of extra knee hinging, so quad and glute development. And that brings us to the end. I wish you all the best and great success following this block, and I look forward to seeing all the results posted.